Let's authenticate our domain. This is a step that's commonly missed by so many people, and it really helps with reducing your spam rate from emails that you send out. It basically, you authenticate that you have got the control of the domain, which is your email, the back end of your email address. And that means that you've authenticated, and it almost puts like a digital registration on your emails. And then when that goes out to companies, when it goes out to, say, a Gmail inbox or to a Hotmail inbox or an Outlook inbox, they will scan it for this registration, and they will look for records on the domain to make sure it's related to the domain, the website. And when it verifies that information, it says, yeah, okay, you verified yourself. I'm going to allow you to go into the inbox and not the spam box. That's, in a nutshell, kind of what it does. It's putting a digital registration into your emails when it gets sent out, and then the inbox will scan that for that registration, and if it can verify it, then great, all's good. So how do we do it? Mailchimp doesn't advise us to do this. It doesn't do it on the setup process. So how do we do it? Okay, so up in the top right corner, we've got our name. So we're going to click down there and go to our account. And under settings, we go down to domains. As you can see here, we've got our domain it's been verified because we set up our account with an email address related to that domain. So it's been verified, but it's not been authenticated. So what we need to do is authenticate it, and as it says there, to help improve the email delivery rates, authenticate your domain. Now, if we click on this little link here, it will take us to the Mailchimp help file that takes us through how to set this up. But if you scan down here, it just looks like a bunch of jargon, and a lot of people get really, really stuck. And you know, when I first started using this as well, I got this wrong all the time. I could never ever work this out. There is a bit of information down here on how to do it with common domain providers. So if you are with GoDaddy, if GoDaddy is your domain provider, then it tells you step by step how to do it there. Google domains, Squarespace, how to do it in Squarespace, one-on-one. Yeah, so it gives you some guides on how to do it for a few of them. Now, some of the back-end software for hosting is provided by like a common company like Cname. So some of these that might actually be relevant to your company, sorry, not Cname, cPanel. Some of these might be relevant to your domain provider anyway, if they use the same back-end. Now, as you can see here, we clicked on Namecheap. It tells you how to set it up in Namecheap. Now, I've never heard of Namecheap myself, but Namecheap uses cPanel. Now, one of the hosting companies that I use uses cPanel as well. So this, taking these steps here, will probably be exactly the same for the steps I take in that domain provider as well. Commonly, what it's basically doing is you're looking for DNS records in your hosting. Now this is going into a different section, but it's changing the DNS settings to improve email deliverability. So what I'm going to show you is how to do it in one of my other hosting platforms. And what you'll do is you'll look for something similar in your platform as well. So you're looking for something along the lines of, get rid of that, along the lines of custom DNS. So DNS settings, custom DNS, something like that. You know, once you find something like that, once you go in there, you'll see a bunch of stuff like this, which will basically mean not a lot to you. But what here is we're going to go back to Mailchimp. We've got this big button on the right hand side here that says Authenticate. And when you click on that, it tells you what you should be doing. Basically, we should be creating a DKIM, we should be creating a Cname record, and we should be creating a TXT record. So if we go back to that help file, as you can see, it wants us to create there we go. It wants to create a Cname record and a TXT record, and these are the values that you need to put in to verify your domain. Now, I'm not going to read through all this because it's quite boring and it's just going to mean nothing to you. So basically the steps are: create a Cname record for, and this is the URL that it will want to go to, and when it goes there, it will want to see this bit of information here. So I'll just show you where to get to that again. In your domains, click on Authenticate, and this is the information you need to enter. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our custom DNS. We're going to add a new record. It's for lexiart.co.uk. The record name, as you can see, it's got this blank.lexiart.co.uk. If we look at this information here, it says create a Cname for k1._domain-key.lexiart.co.uk. So I'm just going to highlight that, and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it. Now, as you can see, the record name it's going to look at is k1._domain-key.lexiart.co.uk. Now, we've already got the lexiart.co.uk at the back there anyway, so what we don't want is we do not want it twice. Your host might just have a complete blank box, in which case you want the whole thing. For this one, which is TSO host, it's just providing a blank for the beginning section, so it will create this at k1._domain-key.lexiart.co.uk. It will add that on itself. So we're looking to create a Cname record, and that's the type, record type. We're going to go to Cname, and the value, we're just going to copy that. And what that means in here is content. So if you see value or content or details or something like that, that is where the details go. That's where the content, the value, the little bit of code, if you like, that's where it goes. Priority, we don't need to change anything there. TTL is time to live, and that's in seconds. So it's basically going to wait 86,400 seconds. I'm just going to change that to 0. I want it to go live straight away. However, just because I've set that to go live straight away, what that's going to do is it's going to start telling the internet and all the servers and everywhere that checks for your website and everything, everywhere your website's cached and all your records are stored, it's going to start making that go live straight away. But by the time it's gotten everywhere and everywhere's updated, you might have to wait up to 24 hours for any changes to make effect. So what that's basically saying is, once you've made a change here, it may not have an effect for up to 24 hours. And if we look on the Google page, on the Mailchimp page, again up here it says you modify your DNS records, and after you've made the required DNS changes, please wait 24 to 48 hours for the changes to propagate. Or why should I do this? And it gives you some information. Should you care to read it, right there. Now, what I've found in the past is that it never really takes any longer than 24 hours. In fact, I've usually found this can authenticate pretty much straight away. And I've had to wait a couple of hours in the past for one or two, but that's for a brand new domain. If you've had your domain a while, this might happen straight away. If it doesn't, if it says it's not authenticated, if there's an error, come back, click on the Authenticate button tomorrow, and I'll take it from there. If it still doesn't, then there's something wrong. But like it does say, it can take 24 to 48 hours. So if after 48 hours it hasn't worked, then yes, there's definitely something wrong. Okay, so we've created a record for the first one. What we're going to do is just save that. We'll just add that record. And as you can see, that is now there. K1 domain key, and it's a Cname record. Okay, so what's the next one we need? The next one is a TXT record with this information in here, this line of code, this content, this value. So what we need to do, add a new record. It's for lexiart.co.uk. The record name, now for this one, it does say that this record is just for lexiart.co.uk. It doesn't have anything in front of lexiart.co.uk. So what we need to do is leave this section blank, or if you've just got a blank section, just type in, the last part of your domain. It does say here, leave blank for the root, which is basically just the lexiart.co.uk bit. Record type is a TXT. Priority, we don't need to worry about again. Content is that value we've copied right here. And time to live, again, I'm going to put that at 0. And we're going to add the record. Let's have a little look. There we go. So we've got the record in the root, TXT, and there's the information. So once we've done those two records, yeah, we can click on Authenticate domain. Doesn't happen straight away, don't worry. And then we wait. And there we go. So now it says lexiart.co.uk. It no longer just says verified, it actually says authenticated. That happened straight away. I didn't have to pause or wait or anything like that. Literally from what you've just seen me waiting, that is how long it took. And it is authenticated. And that's it. So your domain is authenticated. Like I say, this is an important step that a lot of people do not know they need to do. And they wonder why their emails are going in spam boxes a lot more. This really helps to reduce that. If you're still sending emails out that are full of rubbish and garbage and they get reported as spam, then yes, you're going to still end up in spam. But if you're sending authentic emails, genuine emails, you're not getting flagged up as spam, then this should help you reduce your spam inbox rate as well. So that's how we do that. Yeah, we'll move on from there and I'll catch you in the next video.